Kol, Haloyim La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesied and rule well for the hopeful 144 and the 1/3 of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Akwith, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Kanan. This is going to be a quick break hit, real super quick hit. The word nostalgia came past earlier today, and it just made me think about this MAGA bullshit, this make America great again. You know, great again, like when you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics were underneath the foot of Edom, the so-called white man, self-proclaimed. You know, when we could get lynched and they would stand around and take postcards and pictures and smile and laugh at it. You know, picnic. Look up the term picnic. All right, the origin of it. You know, when our children was being fed to alligators for leather, for bait, you know what I'm saying? You know, good old nostalgia. So let's get that word. And I got a couple verses and I'm gonna be out. All right, nostalgia is sentimental, often comforting. All right, bittersweet longing for the past, driven by scenarios triggered like music, okay? Or familiar items, you know what I mean? This, once again, you know, those postcards, you go into certain dentist offices to this day, or you go into like your to your court jury system, you're going to see a lot of Edomites, older Edomite faces like those are great men, knowing that all of them are the base men. They're all wicked. You know, none of those men should be honored. They did nothing great, okay? All right. It functions as a psychological rescue that boosts mood. That's exactly why these so-called white people want to return to what they call the good old days, the white picket fence. All right, strengthens social connections and provides meaning during loneliness or change. Okay. And see, that's how he's feeling now. Yeah, it's the time that Edom will start to get chased out of his comfort zone because the world is woken up to his wickedness, okay? All right? Though excessive dwelling can sometimes cause sadness, and that's the ultimate income of this situation. All right, so let's get these couple verses. This first one is 2nd Esdras 6. So, you know, this verse right here, this goes into saying fuck your nostalgia because it's over. All right, then did I consider 2nd Esdras chapter 6 verse 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, through Yahweh. Okay, and ultimately through Yahweh Shai and the Alahayim, the 144,000, but who was the architect who gave the blueprint, Yahweh. Okay, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. Okay, and what's one thing that's going to be ended? The wicked rulership of Edom. Okay, sooner than you think, sooner than later. All right. Verse 7, then answered I and said, what shall be the pardon asunder of thy times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Okay, this world will never be destroyed. It will always be here, just ran by a different rulership. Next time it will be ran through righteousness for eternity, led by Yahweh Shah. Why? King David over Yasharallah, okay? And the Alahayim, the 144,000, 12,000 of the 12 tribes of Yasharallah, okay? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, of Isaac, okay? Through Rebekah's stomach, all right? But through the seed of Isaac, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. And what is that? What is that? Symbolize that's symbolic for this rulership currently is in the hands of Esau, but Jacob is coming behind to snatch it. It won't be no Moab, it won't be no Hamites, it won't be another sector of Edomites to take over next. Yasharallah has next, for ultimately for eternity. For Esau is the end of the world, this eon, this current rulership that we live in, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, that's a promise from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Now let's get this to back it up. Okay, this is the book of, I could go here though. Okay, 18, Revelations 18:2. And he cried with a mighty and a strong voice, saying, Babylon, spiritual Babylon, the great United States of America is fallen. It's fallen. So they're right there to tell you no more MAGA, no more making this bullshit great again. Humpty Dumpty has officially fell off the wall, and all the king horses can't put Humpty Dumpty back together. Okay, has fallen. It's fallen, and it's become the habitations of devils, and these devils are men. Okay, and the whole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean, hateful bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of what? The philosophies of this wicked man's double speak laws, okay? Of the wrath of the fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Once again, these people, these kingdoms set aside their morals and their own rationality to follow after spiritual Babylon, leads to whoredom, women twerking, women turning away from their men. It just all sorts of immorality. Okay, that ABC lifestyle is pushed farther than, is brought out more and more. That Sodom and Gomorrah lifestyle. For all nations have drunk of the wine of her wrath. Salakia, for all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. The merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundancy of her delicacies. Okay, and pretty much using this place as a trading stock. Okay, and I heard another voice saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye not receive of her plagues, that ye receive not of her plagues, which are those ICBMs, those intercontinental ballistic missiles that will be flying, okay, from one end of the earth to another to meet the destination, and none will miss. Okay, and come out of her is when Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is summoning the elect up, beaming the elect up to them chariots. So we won't have to be in that lake of fire, but we'll be witnesses to it. Adawan Ratazah, I be of that number. For her sins have reached up into heaven, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has remembered her iniquities. Okay, reward her even as she has rewarded you, double unto her, double according to her works, double the cup they gotta pay. They gonna take their sip, and I hope to push it in their face. Okay, and the cup which she has fill up to her double. And I got one more. I need to go, but I got one more. Let's go to Obadiah. Okay, Obadiah 1:8. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, even destroy the wise men out of Edom? That's who's running this world. That's your government. That's why you got dumbass DJ Trump sitting in that power seat. And understanding out of the Mount Esau, which is your government. That's why he's surrounded by dummies. Pete Hegseth and the rest of the crew. They're all idiots. Just dance, smoky-eyed, used to be cross-dresser Vance. Okay, I got the receipts. And the mighty man out of Teman, once again, Edom's people, the Smiths of Edom, the scientists. He said he would take all their wisdom away from them. Shall be dismayed to the ends that every one of the Mount Edom of Mount Esau may be cut off by slaughter. I'm going to read that again. Obadiah 1:9. And thy mighty man, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of Mount Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, you speckled birds that look like the other nations, even Edom, but your father comes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, your seed. Shame shall cover thee for trying to destroy us, for taking our name, for lying about who they are, for stealing our identity, all right, and doing much more treacherous things to us. Thou shalt be cut off forever. So once again, fuck your nostalgia, fuck your feelings, because it ain't going out that way. I pray that this was